And Nicholas Rushworth is with me now for a look at what the French papers are saying this Monday. So what are they saying?
Hi to you, Karen, and hi to everybody. I'm going to turn, first of all, to the newspaper Libération and to a foreign story for once. We often begin with domestic politics in the French press review, but this time Syria is dominating in its crisis. Look at this front page of Libération. There, a picture of body bags. And what do we see there? Headline, L'horreur à huis clos. Now, that translates as the horror behind closed doors. The front page there is saying, Rébellion éclatée, djihadistes omniprésents. The rebellion is split. There are jihadi groups everywhere. The heritage of the country is being devastated, and foreign observers are being kept at a distance. Now, it's arguing that Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian president, is continuing his massacre, and he's succeeding in a reign of terror by cutting off the country. So it's focusing today on just the actual terrible stalemate and deadlock that we're seeing in Syria.
And the Catholic daily, La Croix, is also leading on Syria.
Absolutely. It's not the only paper. I'm picking two this morning. Also, L'Humanité is talking about that. But here is La Croix, and there you can see also a very powerful photo there of the situation in Syria of people living in bombed-out ruins. And there the headline is Syria, le drame sans fin, so the never-ending drama. Of course, Libé, in its pieces, was saying no world leaders are standing up to condemn the intolerable. The angle for La Croix is very much the human one. It has an interview with a teacher in Aleppo in Syria, which is that town which is really gone through devastation and is in half ruined now. And the piece is actually with a woman who does not give her name, a teacher, and she says, I can only buy vegetables in the market. Bread, if I can get it at all, is 20 times more expensive than it was in 2011, before Syria's uprising began. And very movingly, she says, as a teacher for herself, most of the schools in Aleppo are being converted just simply to house refugees. But for her own class, for her own students, she says that they're looking at her forlornly saying, what hope is there for us? And they can't find it. And she says, her quote there is, I see death in their eyes. So really a moving tribute to the situation in Syria, which, again, the French press is saying no one's doing anything about it.
And aside from Syria, domestic politics are also on the front pages, aren't
Well,
they?
there is no summer holiday for Le Figaro, which loves to have a lot of Hollande bashing from day to day. And Le Figaro is leading on a dispute that erupted over the weekend, which was the centre of that was Pierre Moscovici. He's the finance minister now. He said to a French paper, Nice Matin on Saturday, that in fact growth for the economy would be flat. It would be between 0.1% and minus 0.1 and plus 0.1%. That, of course, led to a whole row in the papers with them saying, oh, you're contradicting what François Hollande has said, who's talking up the economy, who's saying that we're on the right track and so on. Pierre Moscovici, the whole of Sunday, had to do the rounds of the media saying, well, no, what I meant to say was that globally, overall, the French economy is doing well and is in the right direction. So he had to really correct himself there. So that's very much in the French press. I can go to Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France, which has got this story about that debate over the weekend, which is saying that for Pierre Moscovici, the French finance minister, he actually failed totally in his PR over the weekend. And one tongue-in-cheek comment was, well, actually from a former minister, is this because of sunstroke? Because you know that Hollande has said to his ministers, you must be around, you must stay in France, you mustn't go away, you must be on hand. And so ministers are kind of vying with each other to get media attention. And there you can see the headline, Le coup comme manqué. So the PR from Pierre Moscovici failed dramatically. It was a gaffe. He had to backpedal. So, of course, that whole question of the heat and the sunshine and the holidays is on French people's minds big time.
Well, talking of which, we're now nearing the middle of August, and that's, of course, a time when the whole of France, excepting a few, of course, will be relaxing away from work.
Well, Thursday is the big day, the 15th of August. And again, with Aujourd'hui en France, Le Parisien, it has this piece about the few people who will be staying in their offices over the holiday. Now, of course, 90% of people will be down tools that day. No one will be around. But the people in that office there that you can see the story, they're saying, well, it's a good time to do my English lessons online. Well, it's a good time to actually open the files and dig a bit deeper and do my work a little bit more intensively. So that piece there talking about the upside of being in the office for the 15th of August, which is in a few days' time when the whole of France disappears.
Well, thank you very much for that. That was Nicholas Rushworth there with our review of the papers. Thank you. That's it for now. I'll be back with more news after the break.